Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bling Bling Jam YouTube station. We're so excited to have you guys back to our new station. And today I have somebody brand new to share with you guys. He'll be vending and sharing at the Bling Bling Jam for the first time. Never met him before. So first time. I know Joe had messaged me last year about coming, and he is coming this year, which is great. We're super excited to have him. I know a little bit about Joe. He just shared with me a little bit about his balloon career, and I want you guys to know him as well, how he got started and how he fell into this, and all the neat items that he has at the 3D shop. I don't know if I'm saying it all right, but Joe's from California. And hey, Joe, why don't you take it away, introduce yourself, let them know who you are, how you got started, and how you fell into balloons and your business.
Okay, no problem. I fell into balloon twisting about 13 years ago. My daughter and me were in a toy store. I was a graphic designer at the time, and she came up to me with a balloon twisting kit, little kit that had instructions, 20 balloons, and a little tiny pump. And she said, "Dad, let's make balloons." And I said, "Kayla, you're afraid of balloons, so let's not are we really bringing them home?" She's like, "I won't be afraid." So I'm like, "This is a great opportunity." So that turned into a little game where I would make a balloon at night and she would guess what it is in the morning. And eventually, my friend Chris saw the balloons I was making and started badgering me. "You should do my kids' party. You should do my kids' party." And I was like, "No, I can't stand in front of people and make balloons. That's ridiculous." And then he got a couple quotes, and I said, "Okay, I'll do 1 hour." And that's kind of how it all started. I personally hadn't run into another balloon twister until I decided on someone online recommended to go to any convention. The person just said, "Go to any balloon convention."
Sure.
And I got hooked at that point. And I've been to several balloon conventions, but I try to make sure to keep an eye on ones that are close to the West Coast because there's a lot on the East Coast, and I feel like it's important.
Sure. Now, where are you from as well? So everybody knows that.
I'm from Los Angeles in the San Fernando Valley.
Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. So, that's great. So any more detail? I know how you fell into the balloons. That was a short but sweet story. How exactly did you fall in totally into this 3D thing? I kind of know with your background, but I mean,
Yeah.
for the balloon community, but I know you have other things too. But how did that
Well,
all happen?
well, I guess as COVID was like closing up, me and my brother got into 3D printing at the same time. We both
Oh, cool.
bought machines without telling one another that we were buying machines, and
Oh,
then
that's
we ended up
funny.
buying the same exact machine, which was kind of ironic. And the first thing I did I mean, other than the first thing you do when you get a printer is you print some stuff. You find files online and print some stuff. But my first thought was I could make my job a little bit easier. And I'm a tall guy, and the first thing I made for me on the job was somewhere to hold my markers higher in my kit. I'm a tall guy. I'm reaching down low, reaching down here. There's a black one here, a blue one around the back. It just was too much crouching for me. So the first thing I made was actually a pretty simple marker holder that hooked onto my Zuka cart handle. And it
Wow.
just held six markers and one edding, and that's all I had. And I didn't think it was anything special. And then I showed up at a convention, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, I need that." And
Yeah.
I was pretty lucky. Dan Staples actually pulled me to the side and said, "If you want to sell that, go home and figure out how to put that online and sell that. But if you don't want to sell that, don't do anything, and someone's probably going to run with the idea." So he kind of put a fire under me. And I don't know if I would have actually done it on my own if someone wouldn't have told me that someone might take the idea and run with it without me. And that kind of
That makes sense.
yeah, that kind of took off once I started selling those, which I actually don't sell them anymore because they're so simple. I have bigger and better ones and ones for different uses and different carts. It kind of like took off from there. Now it's like half of my kit is 3D printed, which actually ends up being a big conversation with people at parties. Oddly, kids know a lot more about 3D printing than most adults do.
Oh, for sure. Wow, that's great. It's so funny. And the balloon community is such a small world, but yet it's a big world. You know, Dan lives in my area. I never met him before, which is really funny. It's a small world, but yet not. But that's so true. Everybody that has an idea, if you don't run with it, it's spot on. So that's great. So how many years have you been having, has it been now? Is it 4 years that you've had your 3D specifically to the balloon world? Web?
Specifically to the balloon world,
Yeah.
I am 2.5 years in for
Okay.
specifically to the balloon world, doing
Great.
3D print stuff.
Great.
I do a couple other things for other different like I guess
Businesses.
groups and stuff and uses, but
Yeah.
majority of my stuff is still stuff where I'm thinking of ways to make my job easier.
So you're
Um,
you're you're an active balloon twister yourself. Is that not
oh
correct?
yeah,
Oh, okay. That's
it's
great.
my full-time job.
Oh, perfect. I didn't know that. That's great. That's great. Well, that's great. Why don't you show us some of the things that you have, if
Okay.
that's okay, and what you feel are the benefits to them, because it's always about the benefits, right?
Yep.
And I mean, I love what you said about the 3D stand with the markers, because we're always trying to like compact our space. In the magician world, which I'm a magician too. I don't know if I told you that. It's always like pack small, play big. But when we do
Yeah.
balloons. So we're shoved in a corner with a table and all that, and we have our markers and we have our googly eyes like I do, and we have our stickers or our bling bling, and anything that kind of goes up high. You said you're tall. I'm not that tall, but having stuff tall, I get it because it compacts. I love to see that stuff. If you have any of
Okay.
it there to share,
I
that's
got my
great.
this is one that I use. This thing actually hooks right onto my I have a Zuka Sport right now,
Yeah,
and it just hooks onto the handle that sticks out of the back of my balloon bag
yep.
and then holds the markers. Let me see. There we go. There we go. Holds the markers up above my kit. So I've got my balloons here, my markers here, the editing markers back there. I also have another version that has less marker spaces, but it actually holds a flashlight.
Okay.
So you can, if you're like in a banquet hall, we've all been somewhere making balloons. It's a banquet hall, and then the DJ turns off the lights, turns on the dance music, and everything's dark. That one I like a lot because having a flashlight, I didn't think how much that was going to come in handy, but it kind of does. So
How many
this
does
is
that fit?
what's that?
How many does that
This
fit?
Oh gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 regular markers. It'll hold
Okay.
the retractables or
Yeah.
the traditional Sharpies.
Yeah.
And then they fit 2 Eddings, or it'll fit the Sharpie paint markers, or anything that's smaller than those. So it holds a lot. What I kind of like about this is when I pull it out, the kids know you're serious when you're pulling
Oh,
out the
yeah.
pretty colors.
Yeah, absolutely. So I operate with an apron myself, plus I have a scrapbooker's case. So I kind of work out of that, and a lot of us do. So I'm thinking, even though the scrapbooker's case has a thing for the markers, it's kind of a pain because they're like, that's easier to put that as I open it up on the sideline to hang off there. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm, I worked with Twist 'em Up apron for before I
Yeah.
moved to the cart thing. I have a hack for that that I was doing for years. Nerf guns, they make bandoliers with that have little slots for the little Nerf rounds. Those hold markers, Sharpies, and markers. I was using a Nerf bandolier across my chest and would have like 8 markers across the chest. So it would just be right here. That's what I was using when I was using my Twist 'em Up apron.
Very
So
cool. Very cool. Excellent. What else you got?
okay, this one I recently got a Legenda, which is pretty
Yeah.
popular. This one actually sits on top of the, normally I'll use a filbert, but recently I've been using the Legenda because it's a little bit easier. It sits on top once against the Zuka Sport, and it holds the Legenda on the hook side and then the markers on the balloon side. So you end up with somewhere to put your agenda, not having to bring a table, have a table, have a chair or whatever you're using, and it's still all encompassed in one spot. But that's just another idea of the markers. I've got several marker caddies. Something really cute that
Yeah.
I did. I like this stuff. Is when I first started, I got the idea. We all know the Qualitex green pump, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it'll be classic forever. I've tried the other hand pumps.
You're
They're not the
talking
same
about
as the
that.
quality. Hold on to your green Qualitex, whatever. I don't want
Yeah.
anything to happen, but if it does, don't let them go
I
because they're
know. I
classic.
know.
But I actually have little jewelry. They're the smallest pump replicas
Yeah.
anyone's ever
Oh,
seen.
that's fun.
They're really fun. Um, this is a pretty popular one.
You're gonna have all this available at Bling Bling Jam?
I'm going to have as much of this as possible.
Okay.
Everything I'm showing here, I'm actually definitely going to have there.
Yep. Yep.
I'm going to try to see if I can bring everything I can. So this is a simple
Yeah.
balloon
Can
dog.
you lift up a little higher? There we go. Okay.
There
Perfect.
we
I
go.
can see it.
This is a balloon dog card holder.
Yeah.
It's actually like the second generation, but what it can do is you put like your PVC into your kit.
Yep.
This holds it in the front of your kit. And I
Perfect.
actually have the little guide so that even if you used it like on a table at a festival, the wind wouldn't come and pick up your cards. We've all been there where you're working
Yeah.
at a festival and there's a gust
Yeah.
of air.
Sure.
And
I love that.
this is really popular. I use this every gig. Something I try to do is everything has to be quick to put away. Nothing like I don't want to close up for 5 minutes. I want to close up in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
If that long.
So if somebody wanted to get that, Joe, and they want to get their business name on there, do you print their name on there for them?
I can do that I don't think I'm bringing my printer this time, but what I
order
can
that
do,
from you?
what?
Can they order that from you?
Yeah, they can order it and something that if they wanted to buy the card holder at the show,
Yeah.
I can send them a kit to add where I print the nameplate and then they add it on. It's like foolproof. My child could do it.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Cool.
I'll send everything you would need to make it so that they have their own branding to it.
Oh, that's great.
And
So, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
like one more thing, I use this at every single gig, and I think it's Charles from San Jose asked
Charles
me for
Carrillo. He
some.
comes to Bling Bling Jam.
Yeah, well,
He's a
he
nice
asked
guy.
me if I could make something that would hang on the neck because
Yeah, the
a
cutter.
cutter that hangs on the neck
Yeah.
because he sits down when he twists.
Yes.
You can't use a pocket cutter when you're sitting down, and I don't really sit down. First day I made this, I had to go to a job where I had to dress up like fancy shirt and everything, and it didn't quite work with a pocket cutter. So I brought it first right out of the printer. I brought it to the job, and I don't go out of the house without it. This thing is awesome. I can just snap balloons right where I'm making them. So,
Yeah.
so stuff like that.
That's great. Well, very cool. I love that. Is that that chain? That comes with it, right?
Yeah, the chain comes with it. It's
Metal.
the quick pull chain. If you, depending on your like body geometry, you might want to make it a little higher, a little lower.
Of course.
But I supply enough to fit me. So most people are probably smaller than me. I'm a tall guy. So.
Sure. Awesome. Now, let me ask you this. What if people are international and they're watching this? Are you shipping international or you're not doing that?
I ship international. I would recommend if you're ordering international, let me know before you order.
Okay.
Because shipping is more expensive, and then the customs charges. I want to see if I can do everything I can to take care of people on that matter.
Perfect.
That part had really crazy. That was the hardest part of doing all this was learning the shipping.
I can't
I
imagine.
had no clue.
Yeah, I get it.
Now I'm kind of a pro at shipping. It's kind of.
Are you really? Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I actually recently did a big order from the UK where they all got together and did one order. And that was kind of frightening, sending like weeks of work in one box because it's like it's customs. Let's see how good your customs is in your country. But everything turned out great. Everyone was happy.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Great news. Great news. Great. Anything else you'd like to share about anything else that you have or you're coming out with or anything like that? I don't know if we covered all that.
You know what? I have something I'm working on. It was something that's been in my head. Once again, I realize everyone's got like usually multiple facets. Usually, most people aren't just a balloon guy, but I've got
Exactly.
something that I've got something that I'm going to debut at Bling Bling Jam that I don't want to bring it out. I'm actually gonna the first time people are gonna see it is gonna be on the table at Bling Bling Jam. It's geared towards people that do face painting.
Great.
So it's something that I think will be pretty popular. So
Good. We
that's
do have
all I
face painters at Bling Bling Gym as well, so that's good.
yeah.
Awesome. Great. Well, this has been great, Joe. Is there anything else that you think we missed or anything else you want to share? What I know it's your
Uh,
first time at Bling Bling Jam, so you don't know the
yeah.
group yet, but you
I
will.
know, I know quite a few people that are going. There's
Yeah.
several. What I'm excited about is there's several people in the industry that I haven't seen anywhere else that
Yeah.
are going, and that's going to be really awesome. We're like friends on Facebook, but have never met,
Yeah.
and that's going to be really awesome. I like where it's located and that it's not at the most expensive hotel in town. That's really
Right.
awesome. Um, just that if you want to take a look ahead of time at my shop, go
Yeah.
to Joe's 3ddesigns.com, just how it's spelled, and that'll lead you to my shop. You can find me personally on Facebook under Joe Dunavan. I pretty much only talk about balloons and 3D printing and
Okay.
music sometimes, but that's about it. You can
Oh,
be
you're
my
into
friend.
music too. Okay,
Oh
got it.
yeah, this is kind of music related. I recently found out that there's musicians from bands that get together to do karaoke for that music genre. So you're actually singing with the guitarist from this band and the drummer from that band. And I could not do that for a living. I do one song and I'm like, I'm exhausted. I couldn't. So I admire people that do music.
You need to hook up with a D in California. He does balloons and music. So
Oh, really?
yes, he's a great guy, great friend. So
I'll have to meet him.
he's amazing. He's the guy that went around the world with balloons, wrote books and stuff. He's somebody you definitely want to meet.
Oh,
So
I
yeah,
think I
D's
might have
next.
seen his at
He's
least seen his post. I could have met him, but I at least saw his posts.
taught at Bling Bling Jam in the past. Yes, great guy. Great guy. That's great. Well, Joe, this is awesome. I think that we're truly excited to meet you and see what you else you have to offer and what you're coming out with. And this is great. It looks like some useful stuff, and you put some great thoughts into it. Do we I think we said everything. Was there anything else we forgot that you want to share with
Um,
everybody?
but just come over and say hi.
Yeah.
I usually wear something black and orange. It's my colors. I've turned it into like a thing where I most black and orange as possible. I'm not a San Francisco Giants fan, just in case. Just
Right.
I'm a fan of Halloween. I
Oh,
would.
yeah, I love Halloween too. That's awesome. You should have been here last year. We had Vlad, my good friend. He's all Halloween.
Awesome.
It was great. Yeah, great stuff. Well, this is awesome, Joe. Great to I know we haven't met in person yet. We're gonna meet in a week or so. Can't wait. You guys gonna meet him. Hopefully you guys enjoy this interview with Joe and his business. Check it out. And again, make sure that you like and make a comment. Joe would love to hear that. Show him some love, a question, whatever it might be. And we want to support our vendors when they do things for us. We love that because we're a small community and we're all about that. So please check them out and order some stuff. I'm sure it looks like it's great stuff and it's going to be really useful on top of it. So it's always the tools of your business that help you make more money. That's what we always say. So we'll see Joe at Bling Bling, and the folks that are watching this, like I said, meet him here and also on virtual. Over and out, everybody. Thanks so much, Joe.
Bye. Thank you. Nice
Bye-bye.
talking with you.
You too.